Okay. Have a seat on your mat. Root down into your sitting bones. Press down into your feet. From the foundation of your feet and your pelvis, bring your ribs, your shoulders, and your head into alignment so they're stacked right on top of your pelvis. And that might take a moment for you to sort out. Where exactly are your ribs and shoulders in space? Is one side of you moving forward in space faster than the other? Is one side of you collapsing a bit more than the opposite side? There's a great sensitivity that we gain from this practice. We learn how to feel ourselves and notice ourselves. Bring your hands together at your heart. Turn inward into your own heart. Hear your breath flowing. Giving thanks for this awareness, this sensitivity that we have. Release your hands and open your eyes. All right, if you're sitting on something, remove it. We're going right down to the floor with our yoga strap. So if you did not gather a yoga strap at the beginning of class, go ahead and grab one right now. Laying down on our backs, keep your left knee bent and draw your right knee to your chest to hook the yoga strap around the bottom of your right foot. Allow your triceps to the head of your arm bones to rest on the mat so that your shoulders can relax. Stretching your right leg long, spread your toes on both feet. Use your hands with a very loose grip, so you're holding on but not over gripping through the hands. Use your hands to pull down on the strap. So you're drawing the strap towards you. Now from your pelvis to your foot, push back up against the strap. So you're creating what we call equal opposition. Breathe. Now take both straps into the left hand. Work your left hand up really high, like as high as you can get towards your right foot. Your left shoulder will come away from the mat, so it will be a stretch, an abduction of the left shoulder girdle, the left scapula. Bring your right leg across the midline any amount. Continue to keep the right leg long and spread toes on both feet. Use your left hand to draw down. So you're using the yoga strap to help draw from the foot to the pelvis. Keep that and reach from your pelvis to your foot. So you're going to try to do both at the same time. Press your right thigh bone towards your hamstrings. Use an inhale, bring your right leg back to center. Switch hands on the strap. Once again, hold as high up near your foot as your arm is willing to reach. Take your left arm out to the side, so it's only your right hand holding both straps. Open your right leg to the right, and it doesn't have to go far. We're just warming up. Yeah. And again, pull the straps so that you draw your foot towards your pelvis. Keep the drawing in from the foot to the center of you, and then reach out from the center of you through your foot. So you're pushing into the strap. You want to see if you can keep both going at the same time. In breath, bring your right leg back to center. Separate the straps, hold both straps with both feet, hands, And then now with your right foot, just point and flex. So you've got the strap on the foot, moving from the ankle, point and flex. One more time, point and flex at the right ankle. Remove the strap, keep your right leg in the air. Now circle your right ankle. Reverse the direction of the circling. And now make a figure 8 with your right foot. So it's 2 circles to each side of your foot, making an infinity symbol or a figure 8 laying on its side. Reverse the direction of how you're drawing this figure 8 at the ankle joint. Here's your last one, breathe with it. And then place your right foot on the ground, stretch your right leg out, stretch your left leg out. Notice the difference between your right leg and your left leg. And it's that ability of you to sense, right, and feel your experience. All right, right foot bends, right knee bends, left knee bends. Just even feel the knee bend, that it feels different between the 2 legs. Now switch to your second side. So let's hook the strap to the bottom of our left foot. Use your hands to hold the strap, one hand on each strap. Anchor from the head of your arm bones to your elbows to the ground and breathe. Now spread all your toes on your left foot and your right foot. Use your hands loosely holding the straps to draw your leg into your body. So you're pulling down on the straps equally on both sides. So you're drawing what's called from periphery, which is the outermost point of you, your foot, to the core, which is your pelvis. Now from your core, from center to the periphery, to your foot, press back out. Try to keep both actions going at the same time. It will increase the stretch sensation. So you're going to do this with tremendous sensitivity, like what's the right amount for you as you breathe. Bring both straps together now and work your right hand up the straps, holding both of them with the right hand. Release with your left and just take your left arm out to the side. As your right hand has reached high up the straps towards your left foot, your right shoulder will pull away from the mat, and that's perfect. Yeah, you'll be giving yourself a little bit of abduction and maybe elevation of the right scapula. Use your hand, your right hand, to pull down. Try not to overgrip through your hand as you do that. Continue to breathe and now push back up from pelvis to foot and do both at the same time. Continue to press your left thigh bone towards your hamstrings. Notice that your breath is flowing. Next breath, take your left hand up to the strap. Release your right, so now your right arm returns to the earth. Reach high with your left hand, as high as you feel comfortable. And then we'll open the left leg to the left. Draw down with your left hand. So you're drawing down with your left hand through the bones of the left leg into the pelvis. And then from your pelvis out through the bones of your left leg, reach back up. You don't have to go far in this shape. It doesn't have to be a big open leg at this moment. All right, come back to center and let's just add in crossing the midline with the left leg. So change your hand grip again. Have your right hand hold the straps. Because I know if we were together in class, you guys would have yelled, "We didn't cross the midline." So take your left leg and just barely cross the midline, just in case you didn't do it, because I didn't cue it. You're drawing down with your right hand and you're reaching out from your pelvis through your foot. Breathe. Now bring your leg back to center. Take the strap off your foot, stretch your left leg out, stretch your right leg out. Breathe and feel for a moment. Bring your arms down by your side. In breath, raise your arms up and over your head while you press down through your heels. Exhale your arms down. 2 more times. Reach up, stretch your legs out from pelvis to feet. Exhale, arms down. Double check that you've got your heels rooted and strong ankle flexion as you spread your toes. Keep your arms down by your side. Draw your right knee into your chest. Return your right foot to the ground, right leg long, left knee to chest. Strongly hug it in. Stretch your left leg out on the mat. In breath, raise your arms up over your head. With both arms long, grab onto your right wrist with your left hand. So you're holding your right wrist with your left hand. Walk both feet over to the left. Just a little bit. They'll like go to the corner of your yoga mat. Now squeeze your legs together strongly. Squeeze them. Keep pressing down into your heels and into the back of your thighs towards the mat, and arc your torso over to the left. So your legs are a little bit left towards the left corner of your yoga mat. Strongly squeezing legs together, strongly pressing your legs down. Breathe as you tip your torso to the left so that you open up your right ribs. On an in-breath, come back to center with your torso. Work your legs back underneath you and then release your arms down by your side. And just breathe here and feel. Feel the difference. Second side now. In-breath, raise your arms up and over your head. Grab onto your left wrist with your right hand. Your left wrist your right hand holds your left wrist. Okay, take both legs over to the right, just a little bit. They'll kind of angle towards the corner of your yoga mat on the right side. So both legs to the right. Now squeeze your legs together tightly. Spread your toes and push down through your heels. Press down through the backs of your calves, backs of your knees, backs of your thighs. Most of all, breathe. Tip your torso to the right. So arcing your torso over to the right. Legs are also to the right. Squeeze your legs together. Breathe into the left side of your trunk. On an in-breath, torso back to center. Walk your legs back to center. Release your arms down by your side. Just breathe here for a moment and feel. Bend both knees. Place both feet flat on the floor. Open your arms out to a T. Keeping your legs squeezing together, drop both knees over to the right. Squeeze your legs together, drop both knees to the left. Let's do this a couple more times. Use an inhale to return your legs to center. Use exhales to lower your knees towards the earth. So into the twist is an exhale. Out of the twist is an inhale. Keep it going and sync the movement with your breath. A couple more times, moving with your breath at your rate. Exhaling into your twist as you squeeze your legs together, especially your bottom leg stays lifting up into your top leg. Finish on this next one and return your feet and your legs to center. Line your feet up with your sitting bones. So even reach down. I know a lot of you guys know where your sitting bones are. So they're at the base of your pelvis. So reach down, feel through all the tissue and clothing and locate your sitting bones. And then Feel your feet and the heel, the center of your heel. Is it truly lining up with your sitting bone? Keep that. Now press your arms down, push with your feet, and lift your pelvis up. Reach out through your tail, lower your whole spine down. 2 more times, dynamic bridge. So just using an inhale to lift up and an exhale to return your pelvis to the ground. 1 more time, bridging up. All right, let's change this bridge. So we have our heels lined up with our sitting bones. Walk your heels in. So now your heels are lined up with like the center of your pelvic floor, the center of the bottom of the pelvis. For many of us, that will mean both feet are touching, both knees are touching, right? The feet are come together, they're squeezing tightly together. Push down into your feet, press down into your arms, lift yourself up into bridge. Just feel the difference between this bridge and the one you just did. Reach out through your tail and lower down. 2 more times, use your in-breath to come up. Step heavy into your feet, root into your heels as you spread your toes out. Keep the weight in your heels as you lower your pelvis down using an exhale. Last one. Squeeze your legs together. Come on. Lower leg, upper leg, squeezing together because that's the alignment of the heels, really tight together. And then lower down. All right, one more. Let's take the right foot wider than the pelvis. Just if you were to line your hand up around the outside of your pelvis, the outer hip joint, it's called the greater trochanter. Your heel lines up with the outer edge of your body now. Both feet step out wide to the outer edges of you. Now make sure you track your knees. So your knees are going to track frontal hip bone, center of the ankle, second toe. So the knees do not knock to center. Keeping your feet wider than your pelvis, tracking your legs in alignment. Press down with your arms, breathe, push with your feet, lift yourself up into bridge. And again, just compare this bridge to the other two. Reach out through your tail and lower down. 2 more times, use your in-breath to lift up. And exhale to lower. Last one. Return your pelvis to the mat, walk your feet in, draw your knees to your chest, pick a side to roll to, roll onto your side, and then from side lying, push up and come into all fours position on the mat, hands and knees. So come into the center of your mat, place your hands beneath your
Hey, Lisa, we lost sound.
Thank you, Karen. Thank you, Karen. I must have hit the button when I was transitioning and I was moving the mic case. All right, so starting over, line your knees up underneath your pelvis, hands beneath the shoulders. So you're neutral. So you want to confirm that your knees are in alignment with your sitting bones, and that's going to take some sensitivity. All right, now round your spine like a cat. Reach back through your tail, pull your heart forward. 2 more times. Exhale to cat. Your knees are right beneath your sitting bones. Move your heart forward to cow. All right, come to neutral pelvis, neutral spine. Step your legs together. So now you've brought your knees underneath your pelvic floor. They're no longer the width of your sitting bones. Press down through the tops of your feet. Squeeze your lower legs and upper legs together and cat-cow here now. Draw your tail down, drop your head, lift your belly as you push with your hands. Reach your tail back, pull your heart forward. And again, just feel the difference between this cat-cow with the legs very tight at center, hugging each other, compared to when you have them the width of your sitting bones. Finish on this one. And now step your legs out wider than your pelvis. So now your knees are the width of the outer edges of your pelvis. Breathe. 2 to 3 rounds of cat-cow here. Exhaling up into cat as you push with your hands and step into your feet. Pull your hands back to pull your heart forward in cow as you lift your tail. Keep that flowing. Exhales to cat. Inhales to cow. Finish on your next one. Come to neutral pelvis and spine. Bring your knees back in alignment underneath your sitting bones. Walk your hands one handprint forward. Push with your hands and feet and tip up and back with your pelvis into downward facing dog. Breathe. Now take a look at your heels and see if they're in relationship with your sitting bones. You know, what's the width of the stance of your feet? And for this moment, let's put them the width of your sitting bones. Now tread it out. Walk out. So articulate through the bones of your feet so that your ankle flexes, your knee flexes, and your hip flexes. So make this movement about your foot lifting and lowering, and the result will be a movement that ripples up through your leg into your pelvis. Keep pressing with your hands one more time, walking it out in each foot. Now lift both heels high, lower both heels. Bring your knees to the mat just for a moment. You can shift back to Balasana, child's pose. In breath, come up into all fours. Tuck your toes with your hands a little bit forward of your shoulder girdle. Push with your hands and your feet to take your pelvis back and up into down dog. Now in this one, bring your feet close together. Feet all the way touching each other. Tread out. So walking the feet with the legs narrow, as close together as you feel comfortable. Touching would be optimal, but if it's too tight, you can certainly have them a little wider apart. And then articulating through the bones of your feet so that you're alternating a heel lift lower. One more time on each leg, alternating the heel lift lower. Step your feet back out about the width of your sitting bones. Bring your knees to the mat. Shift back to Balasana, child's pose. Breathe. I know you know what we're doing next. Come up. Tuck your toes, push with your hands and feet. Take your pelvis up and back into down dog again. And your feet are going to step where? Wider. Exactly right. So step your feet wider than your pelvis. So you're in a wide stance and begin treading the feet here in this wider position of the legs. There's one of these positions that you like a lot better. It's good to practice all of them. A couple more times treading through the feet. Lift both heels, lift the belly as you push with your hands, lower your heels towards the earth. Walk your feet back into neutral. Bring your knees to the mat, pelvis back, child's pose, Balasana, forehead to the mat. Breathe. Come up into all fours, tuck your toes, push up and back into down dog. Walk your hands and your feet towards one another. Bring your hands to your pelvis, in breath and come up. Release your arms down by your side. Stand on your mat, reach your arms up to the sky. Grab onto your left wrist with your right hand. And so I am teaching right, left. I'm practicing right, left. So follow right, left cues. I'm holding my left wrist with my right hand. Tip your torso to the right. Breathe. Inhale and come up. Exhale and release your arms. Second side, big breath up. Grab onto the right wrist with the left hand, tip. Inhale, rise. Exhale and release your arms. All right, let's step the feet all the way together. So the narrowest stance you can get. Squeeze your feet tightly together. Squeeze your inner legs, inner thighs tightly together. Draw your tail down and lift up through your heart. Now push down with your heels. Reach up through your arms. Grab onto your left wrist with your right hand, tip to the right. In breath and come up, grab onto your right wrist with your left hand, tip to the left. In breath, rise. Exhale and release your arms. Step your feet a little bit wider than your pelvis. So now you're in your wider stance. Reach up fully as you press down through your feet. Grab onto your left wrist with your right hand and tip. Bend your right knee. Right knee bending, tipping right. Press with your feet, lengthen your leg. Reach up. Exhale and release your arms. Second side, reach up. Hold on to your right wrist with your left hand. Stay with your breath as you pull up from your feet to your pelvis. Continue to let the breath flow as you reach down from your pelvis to your feet and tip to the left. Breathe. On an exhale, bend the left knee. Head of the shin bone on the left leg is moving forward, just directly forward, somewhere between the second and fourth toe. Breathe. Push with your feet. Inhale and come up. Exhale and release your arms. Top of your mat, please. Inhale, reach up fully to the sky. Exhale, have a seat chair pose. Fold forward to a standing forward fold. Now take a look at your legs in your standing forward fold. You have a great opportunity to look and see, are your feet lining up with your sitting bones? So center of the heel, center of the ankle, as best you can, dropping a plumb line from the sitting bone to center of the heel, center of the ankle. Bend your knees. Keeping your left foot where it is, step your right leg back. So right leg back to a low lunge. Right leg went straight back, right heel lining up with right sitting bone. Right leg forward, standing forward fold, knees are bent. Step your left leg back now, straight back behind you, lining up with your sitting bone. Press down with your right foot, swing your left foot forward. Standing in your left foot, right leg back. Now take your right leg out into the side plane a little bit. So your right foot's going to go wider than your pelvis. Breathe. Walk your right foot back in to alignment with your right sitting bone. Step it forward. Left leg steps back. Line it up with your left sitting bone to start. Now move your left leg to the side, to the left side. So it's about the width, the foot is about the width of the pelvis. Left foot comes back into alignment with the sitting bone. Step your left foot forward. Bring your hands to your pelvis, in breath and rise up. Release your arms down by your side. Take a wide stance on your mat. Take a look at your feet. All this awareness about where are my feet in relationship to my pelvis. So in this moment, are both feet fairly equidistant, right? Equally distant from the center of the pelvis? Are both feet in the same plane, or is one more forward and one more back? Turn your right foot in, turn your left foot open, bend your front knee. Yep, so release the front hip, come into your knee bend. Reach your arms up. Now pull your feet towards one another as you open your arms out to a T. Take the head of your left arm bone, rotate rotate your palm to the sky. So the rotation came from the top of the arm bone. Reach down with your back hand just as much as you reach up with your front arm. So from your heart through both fingers, reaching equally. Push with both feet, inhale and come up. Side angle, left arm to left thigh bone, reach up to the sky. Top arm over your head, big expression. Press with your back foot, inhale and come up. Reach your arms up and out. Lengthen your front leg. Release your arms. Turn your left foot in, turn your right foot all the way open. Once again, just checking in with your feet. Where are they in relationship to each other? Are they stepping out equally from the center of the pelvis out through each leg? Pull your feet towards one another as you stretch your arms up to the sky. Release your front hip and bring your arms out to a T. Your right arm bone, rotate your arms to the ceiling. As you push down from your pelvis to your feet, keep reaching out from your heart to your fingertips. Lift your heart up, and as your bottom arm reaches down, your top arm reaches up just as much. Breathe, reversing your warrior. In breath. Torso on top of pelvis. Right arm to right quadricep. Top arm up to the sky. Arm circle your top arm over your head and reach. Push down with both feet. Lengthen your legs, releasing your arms. Turn your feet parallel. Heel, toe, come in. Move to the top of your mat. Bring your feet all the way together. So just to show you front on, feet all the way together, legs all the way together. So heels lining up with the center of your pelvis. Reach your arms up to the sky. As you exhale, have a seat. It's going to get tricky. Fold forward to Uttanasana, standing forward bend. You're welcome to move your feet if this is uncomfortable. Squeeze your legs tightly together. Bring your hands to your pelvis, move your heart forward. Notice how it's affecting your balance. In breath and come up. Step your feet out wider than your pelvis. So feet are now about the outer width of your hips. So it's a wider stance. Reach your arms up. Exhale, have a seat. Breathe in. Next exhale, fold. Hands to the ground. Squeeze your legs towards one another. Doesn't mean they have to move, but energetically they hug the midline. Take 2 more breaths here as you allow your head to be heavy. Hands to the pelvis, heart moves forward. In breath and come up. All right. Grab your yoga strap. You may want to be near a wall or a piece of furniture for this because it does require balance. It also requires like knowing where the standing foot is. Is the standing foot like too close to the midline and that's what's making you lose balance? Is the standing foot too far away from the midline? Is that what's causing the issue for balance? Is the standing foot underneath the pelvis? And that's not the right place for it. So it's kind of like Goldilocks and the 3 bears. Where should the standing foot be for you so that you can find the balance on one leg? So stand on your right foot, yoga strap into your left hand. Draw your left knee up to your chest. And you can use your hands to hold your left leg. You can also hook the strap around the bottom of your left hamstring. So I've lassoed the strap underneath the leg. It's coming up underneath the hamstring and I'm holding it. Right? So you have a choice. You could use your hands or your yoga strap. Okay, and then release. So keep the yoga strap of your hand there. Now let's move the right foot all the way into the midline, like crowd the midline with the right foot. So the right foot has moved left. Draw your left knee to your chest. See if you like this better or worse, right? For balance, like how do you feel about it? Keep drawing up through the arch of the right foot to the pelvis. Continue to press the left thigh bone into the strap or into your hands, depending on how you're managing this, whether you've got your hands at your hamstrings or you're using a yoga strap. And then release. Same thing, right? Now we're going to take the right leg and step it wider. So let's step the right leg out to the right, about the width of the pelvis. Draw your left knee up. And just noticing it's, like Goldilocks and the Three Bears. Which of those three did you like? Neutral, more to the midline, and more to the outer edge. All three have a different value depending on a life situation. Left leg down. All right, just stand for a second. Breathe. Let's go for the second side. So the first one is your best shot of neutral leg. So left leg underneath the left sitting bone. You can use your yoga strap to hook your right hamstring. You could also just use both hands to clasp the right hamstring. All right, float your right leg up. Pull up through the arch of the left foot to your pelvis while you press your right thigh bone either into your hands are clasping at your hamstring, or into the yoga strap. And then release. Now let's take the left foot and really crowd the midline. So the left foot has stepped in and gone right underneath the center of your pelvis. Pull up through the arch of your left foot. Draw your right knee towards your chest. Press your right thigh bone into either your hands or the yoga strap. Breathe. Release your right foot to the ground. Step your left foot out wider than your pelvis, or about the outer width of the tissue on the outside of you. So left foot is stepped wide. You'll be weight shifting into the left foot to bring your right leg up to balance. Breathe. I'm so curious if playing with the position of the foot in relationships to the pelvis is affecting your balance. And if we were all live together in class, release your right foot down, I would be able to see that. I'd be able to have a great image of like, wow, it's really affecting them to have this dance and play throughout practice. So you'll either have to give me like thumbs up or thumbs down at the end of class to tell me, how this sensitivity to balance is affecting you in practice this morning. How did it go? All right, so right foot underneath the right sitting bone. This time we're going to lasso the sole of the left foot. So now the bottom of your left foot has the yoga strap. Use just your left hand to hold the yoga strap on the left foot. Bring your right hand to your pelvis. So once again, we're playing with the alignment first and foremost with the right heel lining up underneath the right sitting bone, all right? So neutral alignment. Bring your left knee to your chest, pick it up as high as it'll go, stretch your left leg out. Breathe. Draw the strap. Use your hand on the strap to draw your leg into your pelvis, just like you practiced in the warm-up. And then from your pelvis to your foot, where the strap is touching your foot, push back out. Bend your left knee, return the foot to the ground. Now, second one, let's crowd the midline. Crowd the midline with the right foot. Left knee to chest. Left leg stretches out. So is it harder or easier to balance here, right? It's going to be different for all of us. What's it doing for you? Use your hands on the strap to pull your left leg in. Meanwhile, push out from your pelvis to your foot. Breathe. Bend your knee, return your foot to the ground. The last one we have is to step the right foot wider than the pelvis. Got it? Good. I see you weight shifting. Nice. Left leg up. Breathe. Yeehaw. Draw in Using the strap, use your hand, pull in. Reach back out through the leg into the strap. Lower your left leg down, breathe. Take the strap off your foot. Just stand for a minute. What's the stance you chose? Did you choose a wide stance? Did you choose a narrow stance? What did you choose when I said stand? It's all good, whatever you chose. It's just this awareness, a sensitivity that we have. So we have a second side, and then we're through with this, yeah? So stay with it. Left heel lining up with left sitting bone. Hook the strap around the bottom of your right foot. Breathe. Use your right hand to hold the strap, left hand to pelvis. Pull up through the arch of your left foot to your pelvis. So you're strengthening and lengthening muscles from the left arch all the way up into the pelvis, which will then run a trajectory up through the body. It'll just keep going if you let it. Right leg up in the air. Breathe. Use your hands on the strap to pull the leg in. You're pulling your right leg into the body. Meanwhile, from your pelvis to your foot, you're pushing back out. Lower your right leg. Let's crowd the midline with the left foot now. Left foot, get it way in there, like super tight to the midline. Keep that. Breathe. Lift up through your heart. Raise your right leg up. Pull up through the arch of the left foot to your pelvis. Pull in using the straps from the arch of your right foot to your pelvis. Now reach back out from your right hip to your right foot into the yoga strap. Breathe, and then release. Let's step the left foot out wider than the pelvis. So now it's lining up to the outer edge of you. A little bit wider stance to start. There'll be a weight shift left to raise your right leg up. Breathe. Draw in, reach out. Next breath, return your foot to the ground. Remove the strap, just set it off and stand for a moment. Notice the stance that you're going to choose or that you have chosen. All right, if you're not at the top of your mat, head to the top of your mat. Reach up fully to the sky. Exhale, have a seat, fold forward to Uttanasana. Come into all fours, please. And then have a seat on your mat. So sit down, stretch your legs out long. You could use the yoga strap here to hook the feet, right? So if you've just been really tight from sitting or maybe doing too much because you're busy getting things done around your house, use the strap. Now with your elbows bent, draw from the arches of your feet back into your pelvis. So in this first position, the feet are tight together. Yeah, very tight. Squeezing into one another. And as you draw back through your elbows, lift up through your sternum. Keep the strap around your right foot. Bring your left knee up into Janu Shirshasana. So the right foot is really close to the midline. That's where it started. Work your hands down the straps so that your heart aims over the center of your right knee. Work your hands down your straps. Push your left foot into your right inner thigh. That's hugging the midline. And your right inner thigh pushes back against your left foot. Forward fold as much as you feel comfortable. Press down with both feet, inhale and come up. All right, we're just going to change one thing. We're going to change the leg, the straight leg. Abduct it, so you're going to take it out to the side. Right leg moving to the right. Right leg moving to the right, and it'll be wider than your pelvis. Now take your left foot, bring it to touch your right inner thigh again. This time we're going to go sideways, all right? So holding on to the strap or your foot. Some of you guys I know can get your foot. So if you don't need the strap, go for your foot. Hold on to the strap or your foot with your right hand. Turn your heart now open to your left knee. So you've turned your sternum, your heart, towards your left knee. You've opened. In breath, left arm up to the sky. Let your right elbow bend, lateral bend towards your long leg. Breathe. Continue to press down through your right heel. And then if your hand is holding your right foot, pull it in. If you're using a yoga strap at your right foot, pull from the arch of your foot to your pelvis. Draw the leg in. Now, keeping your right leg drawing in, reach back out through your right leg as you press it down. Turn your right ribs open a little bit more and stretch from the left hip crease through your left knee. Press down into your legs. Inhale and come up. Breathe. Work your right leg back to center. Stretch your left leg out. Bring both heels so they line up at the center of you. So this is the tight position, right? So back to Paschimottanasana. Bend your elbows. Work your hands as close to your feet as you feel comfortable. Elbows bent and lifted. Lift up through your heart as you press down through your heels. Breathe. Extend your heart forward as you hinge at your hip crease to come into a forward fold. Keep lifting your elbows as your heart descends. Eventually, your head will go down. Your upper back might round a little bit. That's all perfect. That happens at the end point of the shape. Press down into both thigh bones, both sitting bones strongly. Press down into both heels strongly. Squeeze both legs tightly together. Inhale and come up. Keep the strap around your left foot now. Slide your right leg up to Anusara. Aim your heart towards your left knee. So your heart is aiming towards your straight leg knee. Press your right foot into your left leg, and your left leg presses back. Use your left and right hand to pull your left leg towards your pelvis. Meanwhile, from your pelvis to your foot, push into the strap. Elbows out wide, elbows lifting, heart moving forward. Breathe, forward fold, heart to knee. Press with your feet, press with your sitting bones. In breath and come up. Take both straps into your left hand. Let's take the left leg wider than the left side of the pelvis. So the left leg is abducted. Bring your right foot in now to meet your left inner thigh again. So right foot, left inner thigh are back in contact. Turn your heart, your sternum towards your right knee. So you're turning the shape open. Hold on to your straps as close to your foot as you can reach. In breath, right arm up, bend your left elbow, lateral bend towards your long leg. Now continue to press down through your left heel. Spread your toes on both feet. Press your right foot into your left inner line of your leg. Left inner line pushes back against your right foot. Keep breathing. Anchor your right side of your pelvis down as you stretch from right hip to right ribs. Continue to breathe and draw a little bit more the arch of the left foot up to the pelvis, and then stretch out from your pelvis into the yoga strap, or your hand if you happen to have your hand. Breathe. Press with your pelvis down. Inhale and come up. Stretch both legs out in front of you. Last Paschimottanasana. Squeeze your legs together so they are lined up right underneath the center of your pelvis. Check out that tracking. Bend your elbows, lift your elbows. Work your hands down towards your feet, keeping your spine long as you anchor your legs and squeeze your legs together. Hinge from your hip crease, forward fold. Breathe. As you press your thighs down, your calves down, and your heels down. As you spread your toes, bigger spread. Tightly squeeze your legs together. Work your hands to your pelvis. Push with your hands. In breath and rise. Bend your knees. Hold on to your hamstrings. I'm just turning sideways. Bend your knees. Hold on to your hamstrings. Ease yourself down to the mat, laying on your back. Foot placement in relationship to pelvis as you laid on your back and put your feet on the ground. What did you choose? All of them are good. So back to the beginning. 3 bridges, 3 different foot positions. First foot position, sitting bones and heels lined up. Lift your pelvis up. Breathe. Lower back down. Second foot position, both feet into the midline. Heels right at the center of the pelvis. Knees squeezing together, inner thighs squeezing together. Lift your hips up. Breathe. Arms pressed down, head pressed back. Use an exhale, lower down. Step your feet wider than your pelvis. Push with your arms, push with your feet. Lift your pelvis up. Reach out through your tail, lower your whole spine down. All right, let's get crazy now. Right sitting bone and right heel in relationship. Left foot out wide. Right sitting bone, right heel in relationship, left leg out wide. Left leg wider than you, right leg in alignment. Lift up into bridge. Breathe. Push more with your right foot, push more with your left foot. Lower everything down. Walk your left foot into alignment with your left sitting bone. Walk your right foot out wider than your pelvis. Please continue to track your knees with your center of your ankles and second toes. You guys are all regular practitioners. Maintain the alignment even though the legs are getting different, all right? Push with both feet, lift up into bridge. Take another breath, lower everything down, walk your feet back in. Now bring both feet as tight to the midline as possible. Tightly, tightly, tightly into the midline. Keep your right foot way into the midline. Right foot is hugging the midline strongly. Take your left foot out. So right foot hugging the midline, left foot out. Track your knees with the center of your ankles as you push with your arms. Lift yourself up into bridge. Push more with your heels. Lower your pelvis down, return your spine to the mat. Walk both feet so now they're once again both tightly at the midline right underneath the center of your pelvis. Keep your left foot there. Walk your right foot out wider than your pelvis. Continue to track your frontal hip bone, center of your knee, center of your ankle. You've got 2 legs doing 2 different things. Keep the tracking. Push with your feet, lift your pelvis up. Breathe. Reach out through your tail, lower your pelvis down, walk your right foot into center, draw your knees into your chest, open your knees out wide, take your hands to the bottom of your feet, draw down with your hands to pull your feet in towards your pelvis, push back up with your feet so that you work from core to periphery. Bring your heels to your glutes, cross your right leg over your left in a tight squeeze and hold on to the edges of your feet. So your legs are crisscrossed tightly together in cow face pose. So that's where the legs are crisscrossing, hamstring to quad. Spread your toes and kick your feet up to the ceiling, but resist with your hands by pushing back down. Keep drawing your knees towards your chest. That'll help open up the right outer hip, the leg that's on top. That'll help stretch the muscles of all the balance poses we did today. Okay, uncross your legs. And let's do the second side. Left leg crosses over the right, both knees to chest. You're in cow face pose in supine. So hamstring to quad on both legs. Feet are kicked out wide. Use your hands, push down with your hands, and then your legs kick back up, your feet kick back up into your hands. So you'll feel strength come into the arm lines and the legs while you're opening up your left hip joint muscles from the buttock to the outer left hip. One more breath cycle. Release your hands, uncross your legs, draw your right knee into your chest, stretch your left leg out on the yoga mat. Draw your left knee in, now stretch your right leg out on your yoga mat. Both knees drawing in. Feet to the earth. Stretch your legs out long. Bring your arms down by your side. Turn your palms open. Notice where you chose to place your legs. Are your legs tightly together at the midline? Are your heels dropped beneath your sitting bones? Did you choose to take your legs out wider than your pelvis? And now for everybody, let's bring our legs tightly together, even so tight that your inner thighs go to the mat and your toes go to the ceiling. And now with your legs tightly to the midline, just let them externally rotate. Let go of any desire to hold them. Just let them turn open. Now, if it's comfortable to rest here with the legs in this position, please do. But if you need to shift your legs, feel welcome to shift, but just be sensitive to what you're choosing. Are you choosing that one heel is closer to the midline while the other leg is further from the midline? Are you choosing an equal distance from the midline? There's nothing wrong with what you choose for resting. The greater work is our recognition, our sensitivity, and our awareness of ourselves and how it feels to make the choices that we make. And then sometimes seeing if another choice that's available to us will help us feel better. Close your eyes. Rest.